So last week we were up in Lake Gunnersville camping, and I went to go see Cathedral Caverns, and I drove through a place called Grant, Alabama, a real small town of about 700 people. And I saw a memorial out in front of the police department. So on my way back through, I stopped to see what it was, and it was the chief of police, and his name was Verlon LeMaster, Jr. And he was killed in the line of duty in 2003. He was shot. He went to go serve a warrant for a stolen handgun, I believe it was, and him and two deputies went, and two juveniles opened fire on him. There was a gunfight, and he was shot in the face and died. So, and, I went and saw the memorial. I'm going to show you the video of his memorial they have in front of the police department. And I'll show you a couple of clips, because one of the guys that shot him, both of them were juveniles at the time, I think 17. And they were both tried and convicted as adults and given life in prison without the possibility of parole. And I believe there was the Alabama Constitution, something changed, and they said that because they were minors when it happened, that they couldn't get life without parole without another sentencing hearing. So he went through another hearing not too long ago to get it reduced to life, and that would give him possibility of parole. So I got a couple news clips of that, and then I got the clip of the actual decision that the judge made. And so let me show you the memorial, and I'll show you those two clips, and yeah. So check it out. Hero from a small town, Grant, Alabama. Verlon LeMaster, Verlon LeMaster Jr. So here it is. In loving memory of our beloved chief, Verlon LeMaster Jr. Let's see if I can find out more about his story. Loving memory of our beloved chief, Verlon LeMaster Jr. November 11th, 1954 to August 15th, 2003. Policeman's prayer.
The man convicted of killing Grant Police Chief Verlon LeMaster over 20 years ago, now asking for a new sentence and ultimately the chance to be paroled. Brian Butler was 17 when he shot and killed Chief LeMaster in 2003. At the time, Alabama law mandated that Butler be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. That law was struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court years later, and now Butler has the opportunity to be resentenced. WAFO 48's Will Eldridge was in court today as Butler's attorney made his case. Will, they're asking for a life sentence with parole.
Yes, Liz, Butler is still convicted of capital murder and faces a life sentence, but he is hoping to sway the judge, Tim Jolly, into giving him the opportunity to be paroled one day. His attorney called multiple character witnesses to testify about Butler's behavior before and after the shooting. A former inmate also testified. Butler became a mentor to him in prison and helped lead him to faith. Family and friends echoed that Butler has changed, pointing to his education, prison ministry work, and lack of disciplinary issues. Butler also took the stand, admitting to heavy drug use and severe paranoia leading up to the shooting. He told the court he was not in his right mind at the time. However, he stopped short of fully admitting to the murder. He says he has taken responsibility for his role, but denies actually delivering the shot that killed Chief LeMaster. Testimony will continue tomorrow when the prosecution is expected to call forth their own witnesses. Reporting live in Marshall County, Will Eldridge, 48 on your side.
Brian Butler's case ended with him receiving the exact same sentence as before. Butler was just 17 years old when he shot and killed then Chief Verlon LeMaster in 2003. His original sentence was life in prison without parole. The U.S. Supreme Court later ruled that mandatory life sentences for juveniles was unconstitutional, which led to today's hearing. WAFF 48's Will Eldridge just got out of that emotional hearing. Will, today's hearing really came down to whether Butler deserved a second chance after spending years in prison.
Right, Margot. Butler's attorneys argued that he's no longer the same man that committed that crime as a 17-year-old. But prosecutors argued that the murder of Chief Vernon LeMaster was deliberate and violent. And today, the judge agreed. Judge Jolly denied Brian Butler's request for parole eligibility and resentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. During a hearing over this request in March, Butler, now 40 years old, testified he was struggling with paranoia and drug addiction leading up to the shooting and feared for his life during the encounter. But prosecutors argued Butler never mentioned those claims during the original investigation and said the severity of the crime justified keeping the original sentence in place. LeMaster's daughter tells me she is relieved by the judge's decision.
It's a relief that he doesn't get out of jail because of the simple fact that if my dad can't relive his life, he shouldn't either.
Brian Butler's attorneys say they will be appealing that decision. Live in Marshall County, Will Eldridge, 48, on your side.
So that is the memorial and a little bit of the story. They did get the guy. He's 40 now, I think. Life in prison without parole. And you saw his, I believe it was his Chief LeMaster's daughter saying, her dad was dead. And that person didn't deserve to be out. Now, I agree with that. I know that I have a forgiving nature, but I mean, murder, you take everything a person was and ever is gonna be. That's that line from Unforgiven. But you kill somebody, I mean, that's not it's not something you come back from. So I think justice was served here. Yep. And I like to go and visit grave sites of people with a story. And I did, since I've gotten home, I've looked his gravesite up. And when the next time I'm up there, and we will be camping up there pretty regular basis, I think. The next time I'm up there, I will go by and visit his grave. So anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And remember, not all those who wander are lost. Thanks for watching.